Hi, I'm Jane Manzuris, host of Creative Living, where we help you live your most creative life. Today, we're gearing up for the holidays at one of the nation's top-rated vintage markets. But first, here's what's coming up on the show. Touring a vineyard by kayak, the coolest way to check out the most popular vineyards in the country. Learn how to take a fancy dress and turn it into the most gorgeous wreath. And holidays means lots of photos. Our expert teaches you how to keep them organized. That and so much more on this episode of Creative Living. We are here at what I think is one of the coolest gems in Phoenix. It is Sweet Salvage, and I am with Heather Moeller. Heather, Sweet Salvage is not your typical store, so explain what it is.
Sweet Salvage is a monthly vintage market. We're open 4 days a month, and it is a themed event. We are the first here in the Valley to produce such a thing. So every month we get together with our designers and we choose a theme, and we all go out, shop, curate, design, and put it all together for our guests every month.
So what makes it so unique is that it's only open 4 days a month, and you have a select number of designers that are bringing in one-of-a-kind items.
Absolutely. We're open the third weekend of every month, Thursday through Sunday. We have 20 designers here that do collect all one-of-a-kind items and throughout the country and bring them here, especially for our guests.
That is so cool. So what can people find here? What can they expect to see?
Well, we specialize in traditional antiques, farmhouse, industrial, mid-century modern, and it's all based on whatever the theme is, which rotates around our calendar season.
Okay, and so when people come in, they can find items that are ready to go home with them, or they can find items that they can repurpose?
A little bit of both. We kind of add the selection, but a lot of our things here are already ready, packaged, and for you to take home with you.
And it makes it so easy.
So easy.
And what I love about it is every month then it sort of becomes a new store.
It is absolutely a new store. At the end of the month, we clear it and put the designs in place. Our designers artistically create what they want to do and start all new and fresh every month.
There's so much to look at when you walk in. I mean, from the ceiling to the floor and everywhere in between. What's the best way to shop?
The best way to shop, it just depends on how you like to shop. We have a lot of loyal guests that will line up on Thursday morning to come and see the magic. It's like Christmas opening a present. They're never quite sure what they're going to expect, but then it's going to be great.
And we love magic.
Yes.
And that's probably the draw. People coming into the store is the magic. But really, why do you think there's lines wrapped around the building? And why do you think it's just so packed in here for those 4 days?
Well, it's an event and it's fun. And they never know quite what to expect. They come in and want inspiration, want fun. Ladies and gentlemen come for, a nice day out and lunch and something to do here in Phoenix. And that's really what we wanted to provide the community with.
And it's really just an explosion of inspiration.
Thank you.
It's a great place to be. Thank you so much,
Thank
Heather.
you.
I cannot wait to explore the store. 80 acres of stunning landscape. The Alcantara vineyards are a sight to see, and now you can do it by kayak.
My name's Barbara Predmore, and this is my little piece of heaven, my little Shangri-La. This is Alcantara. So I came across this little piece of land. It's 87 acres. It's right in the heart of Arizona. It's where the last two year-round flowing rivers come together, which is Verde and Oak Creek. It has been inhabited by different generations of people, the Sinagua, the Anastasi, the Chusukut, people who were sustainable on the land because of water. They could farm, they could fish, they could hunt. So Alcantara is more of a kind of like a wine culture. We're very boutique, but we're very much into recognizing each individual vine as it's growing. We really want you to taste that varietal, but what's coming out of the earth and how it manifests itself in the grapes. In our tasting, we actually have 2 levels of tasting, but we allow you to pick the wines that you want to taste according to the level. We have Cabernet Sauvignon, we have Petit Verdot, we have Merlot, and we have Sauvignon Blanc, we have Pinot Grigio, we have Viognier, You know, we have one wine, which is our signature blend, and we take the best grapes that we pick and put it in a blend, and it's called the Confluence. Very obvious. Like the two rivers, we put our best together and it becomes one wine, and we're on Confluence 7 right now. Okay, the Water to Wine tour is something that's very special. This tour has been advertised all over the world. It's the only tour like it in the United States, and you kayak under and through the Verde River, go past the Confluence, and then you come up here to enjoy the wine, the product of this incredible land and all, and you get to taste Alcantara, the Verde Valley in nature. And it gets people to sit and enjoy and talk and share. We want to be an escape for Phoenix. We're an hour away. We want them to enjoy the valley. We want them to enjoy our wine and sit and just let the land talk to you. Let the grapes talk to you. Let the paths talk to you. Feel that serenity in your heart and soul of who you are. It's a magical place. You just have to feel it.
Got someone that's hard to shop for? Well, skip the big box stores and check out vintage markets like Sweet Salvage. You'll find the perfect gift that's one of a kind. Here's what's coming up. I'll show you how to turn an old fancy dress into a beautiful wreath. And we check out the historical Cape Henry lighthouse, site of the first landing by settlers. Always a bridesmaid, never a, yeah, you know how the saying goes. So do you have a closet that's full of fancy dresses that you're never gonna wear again? Well, 'tis the season to upcraft them into beautiful festive holiday wreaths. It's easy, it's creative, and the end result will look merry and bright. So let's get started. You'll need a fancy dress, styrofoam wreath, straight pins, hot glue, bells, baubles, and any other embellishments you can find in your craft stash, and of course, your Kai scissors. First, you gotta just jump right in and cut up that dress. Start with the skirt portion and cut narrow strips from the bottom to the waist. Next, cut off any portions of the dress that you think might be useful. Are there any bows or ribbons or jewels or buttons you can use on your wreath? Start by wrapping the wreath with the narrow strips of fabric until it's all covered. Pin the edges down as you go. I like to leave the edges raw or use my Kai pinking shears because it gives the wreath a good textured look. Loosely ruche the fabric so it has some movement, and then pin it around the front face of the wreath. Do this process until the wreath looks full with fabric and texture. Finally, glue on any embellishments to give that finishing touch to your holiday wreath. And there you have it, a holiday wreath made from a fancy dress that perfectly captures the spirit of the season. The holidays are upon us, so if you need a cute gift for an office mate or a neighbor, check out this craft room crash. This is Craft Room Crash, and I'm outside DIYer Helen Tietz's house. Now, she says she loves to dabble in making everything, but the holidays are her favorite time to create. So let's go crash her craft room and find out what Helen is making today.
Hi, Jane.
Hey,
Come
Helen.
on in. Come on in, Jane.
Oh my, no way. This is the craft room?
This is it. I pretty much make something every day. I mean, a lot of times I'll like tackle a project just to see if I can do it. This is it.
I mean, you have every single thing that you need in here.
And if you see it, you'll use it. Because you just never know what you're gonna need. Both my parents were very hands-on. Back in the day, there wasn't all this technology for kids, so my mom taught me how to do everything. Sewing, crocheting, everything.
This is a crafter's dream room right here, Helen.
Yes,
I can't wait to spend the day with you. What are we making?
we are going to make Christmas ornaments. They're glass ornaments. I like to fill them with glitter or just different little things inside. I made you a little sticker that says
DIY by Jane. That's me.
and then this will be the ornament you'll always remember me by. Okay, so take your cup and you're just gonna pour it in there, and then we're gonna swish it around because you wanna coat the whole inside of the ornament.
Without having it fall out.
Correct. And then pour it out. So then you're gonna take your glitter,
My motto, a day without glitter is a day wasted.
swish it around until it's all coated. And then your extra is gonna come out. You can make so many ornaments with that bottle of glitter
Do you ever get glitter everywhere?
everywhere.
Wow, so this is all scraps from like your dad?
My dad was a furrier. A lot of the sewing and creating with like the furs and stuff, you know, I have a lot of furs in boxes that I'm gonna plan on doing something with it. So now you have a little stole you're gonna put on your,
I love that. It's fabulous.
and then we're gonna use the glue gun and we're gonna put it in.
What about,
And then you can add bling to
you
the
know
top.
I love my bling.
Absolutely.
Wait, can I put this around here so it's like
Yes.
she is wearing a necklace? Okay, ribbon me up, sister. These are the finishing touches.
Yes.
So is that okay? That overhead knot is okay with you?
So now I'm making you a bow that we're gonna glue on the front.
Oh, you glue it on the front.
There's that glue gun again.
Look at that.
Love the back of yours.
Look at that, it's fabulous. This is such a great idea, Helen. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for teaching us how to make an ornament.
Absolutely.
So much fun. Thanks so much to Helen. Now we all know how to make a festive ornament for our Christmas tree. And that is what Helen is doing in her craft room. What are you doing in your craft room? I'll see you next time. These are so cute. I love this. Here's a great gift idea. If you find a piece of antique jewelry at a vintage store, ask the seller for its history. That way you can write the story on a card and it makes the gift that much more meaningful. Coming up on Creative Living. And talk about history, we check out the oldest lighthouse in America. And later, I show you some great holiday DIY ideas.
For more great videos highlighting all that's happening across Arizona, visit YurView.com.
We're heading to Virginia for a tour of the country's oldest lighthouse. Check it out.
Cape Henry Lighthouse is the first public works project of the United States of America. It was very important to have a lighthouse here at the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. A lot of shipwrecks were happening here, so they decided they needed a lighthouse to help mariners get in and out of the ports of Norfolk and Baltimore. It was first authorized by Congress in 1789. George Washington was the president, and he took a big interest in the lighthouse here. He actually appointed the first lightkeeper. He chose the contractor, who was John McCombs Jr., and Alexander Hamilton oversaw the construction of the lighthouse. First lit in November 17, 1792. It is not that hard to climb. Everybody thinks it is, but it is broken up to two separate climbs. You climb up to the base, you have a chance to enjoy the view from about 50 foot in elevation, take a seat, take a breath, and then you can climb the rest of the way up to the top of the lighthouse. And everybody that goes up there always comes back down and talks about how wonderful the view is. You can see a long ways. It's going to depend on how clear it is, but you can easily see with the naked eye all the way over to the eastern shore of Virginia, which is about 15 miles away. In 1881, that's when it was replaced by the lighthouse across the street, which we refer to as New Cape Henry. They actually thought the old lighthouse was in danger of falling down in the 1870s, so they had money appropriated and had the new lighthouse built. The last lightkeeper at Old Cape Henry became the first lightkeeper at New Cape Henry. Cape Henry is probably one of the most historic pieces of ground in the United States. It's the site of the first landing where the Jamestown settlers first landed at before establishing Jamestown settlement. We have a national park. It's called Cape Henry Memorial, and what it has over there is the first landing cross that commemorates the Jamestown settlers first landing here in April of 1607. It also has a statue of Admiral Comte de Grasse, who was the French admiral who defeated the British fleet that was trying to relieve Cornwallis at Yorktown. Over at the National Park, they have a wooden walkway, has an overlook out on the end of it that you're standing right on top of the sand dune looking over the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. You can turn around and get a great picture of both lighthouses in the same frame from over there. It's the only place in the country you can get two lighthouses in the same shot together.
If you're anything like me, you've got a ton of loose photos that you never put in photo albums and they're just sitting in boxes. That's a mess. Well, our organizing expert shows us how to move those photos into the digital age.
We all have boxes and closets and perhaps bins full of photos, and it's a big problem for many of us. So I'm going to share some simple tips that I'd like you to implement in your own lives and in your own homes so that you can preserve these precious memories. This is a photo album that was put together by my mother's mother. Now, she passed away in 1930, so you can imagine how special these photographs are to this family. We want to preserve them by putting them on electronic digital media, and that way we can share these stories of family and we can make sure that these are always going to be protected. You'll find that you may run across some that have some damage to them. There are many services out there that can help you repair these damaged photographs. In addition to photographs, you may find that you have old letters that are very special. This letter was written by my grandmother to her own mother. Now, if this isn't special, I don't know what is. What you want to do though when you're organizing photos is to put them in a rough kind of order. So if you can break them up by year, and even further, if you can break them up by month, at least you can chunk it down and start dealing with the project in manageable pieces. So when you're ready to digitize your photos, you've got them all organized, they're ready to go, you can make a decision to do it yourself. I would suggest a scanner that has a high quality resolution on it so that you can create enlarged photos that are not pixelated and blurred. Or there's always services available out there. You can find services just by Googling electronic or digitized photos. Again, I recommend putting them in the cloud so that you have full protection in the event any kind of disaster happens in your home and you lose your photo albums. Remember, if you follow these simple tips and get your photos digitized and saved in the cloud, you will have family memories to share with people from now till eternity.
Coming up, I've got some great DIY holiday inspiration. You don't want to miss this.
Looking for more fun crafting ideas? Head on over to YurView.com and watch more videos from Creative Living.
Tis the season to get inspired. There are so many DIY ideas when it comes to the holidays. It's like a gift for your creativity. So from repurposed glam to upcrafted sporty and everything in between, here's a few ideas to get you started. Did your ugly Christmas sweater get a lot of laughs last year? Well, let's have some more fun this year and turn it into a festive pillow cover. All you do is cut the sweater into a square that fits a pillow form, stitch up 3 sides, and if you can't sew, ask your neighbor next door who has a sewing machine to do it, or the seamstress down the street, or you can even use safety pins. Just slip it over your pillow, and it's the perfect addition to your holiday home decor. Now, does Dad have a few extra ties laying around? Let's give them a new life and create a Christmas table runner. All you need are red and green ties. You sew them together lengthwise, and there you have it, a table runner like no other. And your wine glasses can't be left undressed. So create these cute wine glass slippers out of your favorite Christmas fabric. These are also really great because now everyone knows which glass belongs to them. We know the holidays are for gift giving, party going, and cookie eating. So if you have a ton of places to go this season, don't show up empty-handed. Bring a smart hostess gift with a touch of DIY, and you'll definitely be invited back. A great idea is to repurpose an old glass jar. Decorate it like Santa using felt and googly eyes and fill it with candy. Or if you're bringing a bottle, make your own wine sleeve using an old pair of jeans and an easy iron-on image. One of the best parts about the holidays is decorating your door with a festive wreath. But this year, let's get sporty. For the baseball lover in the family, make a wreath using ball caps. You don't even have to cut the caps, just pin them on a foam circle. And the best part, if your team goes on a run, the ball caps can still be worn. Now, book folding is very on trend right now, so a quick and easy home decor project. Just fold a book into a Christmas tree shape. Add a repurposed candlestick for the base, a doorknob for the top, and a few buttons as ornaments. It's the perfect tabletop Christmas tree. When it comes to decorating, you can personalize your tree with easy-to-make CD ornaments. CDs are so 10 years ago, but don't throw them away. Cover them with felt and a photo, add on some embellishments, and it's ready for the tree. And finally, if you like a little bling with your holiday fling, repurpose those old brooches into a velvet Christmas tree wall hanging. It'll look like you spent millions on it, but you and I know you made it yourself. There you have it, your Christmas DIY inspiration. Just remember, have fun with your imagination, get creative with your design, and create something special this holiday season. Thanks to Heather and everyone on the Sweet Salvage staff for having us out today. Before we go, here's a quick tip. Vintage stores or flea markets are great places to find serving utensils. With a little elbow grease, you can clean them up and use them, or buy a few and frame them in a shadow box for a unique display. Thanks so much for joining us right here on Creative Living. I'm Jane Monzuris, and I'll see you next time.